Ever gone to the doctor, prescribed something, and then Google the side effects? And the side effects are worse than what you came in for? Yeah, same. Here's something wild though. Before any of that existed, before pharmaceutical companies, before labs and clinical trials, humans were healing themselves with plants. And not just, oh, drink some tea and rest healing. We're all talking reduce your inflammation in hours, lower your blood pressure, fight infections without antibiotics, kind of healing. And a lot of these plants, they're still around, still working. Today, we're going over 10 of them. And trust me, by the time we get to number 7 and number 10, you're going to understand why some governments literally tried to ban these plants from multiple continents. Let's go. Number 1, turmeric. And before you say, I already know turmeric, hold on, because I promise you don't know this part. Because turmeric has been used for over 4,000 years. Ancient Egyptians used it. Ayurvedic doctors in India used it, and for the longest time, Western medicine basically said, hey, interesting spice. Then scientists isolated a compound in it called curcumin, and suddenly there were over 12,000 published studies on this one plant. 12,000. It reduces inflammation at a molecular level. Not like, oh, I feel a bit better. No, it literally blocks the same inflammatory pathways that ibuprofen targets, except it's a root. That's been growing in the ground for millions of years. Quick question before we move on. Do you season your food with turmeric?
Drop it in the comments.
We're actually curious. Willow Bark. You know aspirin? That thing in your medicine cabinet you've probably taken 100 times? Aspirin came from this. Ancient Egyptians were chewing willow bark for pain relief as far back as 1550 BC. The ancient Greeks used it. Hippocrates, the guy medicine's entire oath is named after, recommended it. Then in 1897, a chemist at Bayer figured out how to synthesize the active compound, salicin, into a pill, slapped a brand name on it, and sold it back to the world at a profit. The tree was doing this for free for 30,500 years. Number 3, aloe vera. Everyone's grandmother had one of these on the kitchen windowsill, and grandma was right. Aloe vera has been documented as a healing plant since ancient Egypt. It was literally called the plant of immortality and was placed in the tombs of pharaohs as the amino acids. It reduces inflammation, accelerates wound healing, and has been shown to lower blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes. One plant, sitting on your windowsill, doing all of that. Scientists have identified over 75 active compounds in aloe vera, more than most pharmaceutical products on the market contain in total. Echinacea. Here's a trick question for you. What do ancient Native American healers and modern-day cold medicine brands have in common? The same plant, Echinacea, the purple coneflower. Native American tribes were using this for infections, wounds, and respiratory illness for centuries before European settlers even arrived. Then Western scientists studied it, confirmed it boosts white blood cell production, and suddenly it's in every pharmacy on Earth. Some studies show it can reduce the duration of a cold by up to 24 to 48 hours and cut your chances of getting one in the first place by almost 58%. Your ancestors knew this without a single clinical trial. Number 5, ginger. Raise your hand if your mom ever gave you ginger for a stomach ache. Yeah, that's basically the whole world. Ginger has been used medicinally for over 5,000 years across China, India, and the Middle East. And the science backs it up completely. Gingerol, the active compound in fresh ginger, is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant substances known. It kills nausea faster than most over-the-counter medications. It reduces muscle soreness. It lowers blood sugar. It fights infections. And you can just put it in your tea right now for basically nothing. Fun fact, ginger was so valuable in medieval Europe that 1 pound of ginger was worth the same as an entire live sheep. A sheep, Ashwagandha. This horse-headed therapist of a plant has actually been around for over 3,000 years. In Ayurvedic medicine, this is the plant they gave warriors before battle and monks before meditation. It's what's called an adaptogen, meaning it literally helps your body adapt to stress. Here's what the science says. Clinical trials have shown it can reduce cortisol levels. That's your stress hormone by up to 30%. It improves sleep quality, boosts testosterone, increases muscle recovery time, sharpens memory and cognitive function. If this were a pharmaceutical drug, it would cost hundreds of dollars a month and have a 45-second disclaimer at the end of a commercial. It's a root from the ground. That's been working for 3,000 years. If you're learning something new, like and subscribe. We've got 4 more and it only gets wilder from here. Number 7, Kratom. If you haven't heard of it, you will. And if you have, you probably already know it's complicated. This is where it gets interesting. Kratom is a tropical tree from Southeast Asia. It's actually related to coffee. For centuries, farmers in Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia would chew the leaves to get through long days of physical labor. It gave them energy at low doses and pain relief and relaxation at higher ones. Then it started spreading globally, and governments started paying attention. Here's the wild part. Kratom has been banned or restricted across Asia, Europe, Australia, and parts of North America. That's 4 continents. The DEA in the US tried to classify it as a Schedule 1 substance in 2016, the same category as heroin, but reversed the decision after massive public backlash and a flood of letters from people using it to manage chronic pain and opioid withdrawal. Thailand, the country where kratom originated, had it banned for decades, then legalized it again in 2021. Still illegal in Malaysia, still banned in the UK. Still a Schedule 1 drug in several US states, one plant, ancient healing traditions, 4 continents of debate. Make it make sense. Frankincense. You know frankincense from the Bible. One of the 3 gifts to the baby Jesus, right? But did you know the reason it was that valuable? Worth more than gold in some ancient markets. It was because of what it did to the human body. Boswellia, the tree that produces frankincense resin, contains compounds called boswellic acids. They're some of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories ever studied. Modern research shows they work specifically on joints, reducing pain in arthritis patients comparably to prescription NSAIDs. Ancient Egyptians burned it. Ancient Romans traded it. Ancient Indian doctors prescribed it. And right now, pharmaceutical companies are actively trying to isolate its compounds to synthesize into new drugs. They're basically trying to replicate what a tree has been doing forever. Number 9, garlic. Trick question. Which ancient civilization used garlic to give their construction workers strength and endurance? If you said Egypt, you're right. Archaeologists found garlic in Tutankhamun's tomb. Ancient Greek athletes ate it before competitions. Roman soldiers carried it into battle. Louis Pasteur, yes, that Pasteur, confirmed its antibacterial properties in 1858. During World War I and World War II, when antibiotics ran out, military doctors used garlic juice directly on wounds to prevent infection and gangrene. Raw garlic contains allicin, a compound that activates within seconds of being crushed and has been shown to kill or inhibit over 23 types of bacteria and fungi. It's a bulb that you can grow in a pot on your balcony. And lastly, number 10, kava. This one might be the most misunderstood plant on this entire list. For over 1,000 years, communities in Fiji, Vanuatu, Tonga, and Hawaii have gathered around the kava bowl for ceremonies, celebrations, conflict resolution, and healing. It's not a drug. It's not a party substance. It's a sacred social ritual, like these cultures' equivalent of sharing a meal. Now here's where it gets dramatic. In the early 2000s, several European countries, Germany, France, Canada, and others, banned kava entirely based on early reports linking it to liver toxicity. Except, those reports were mostly wrong. Further, research found the liver cases were linked to non-traditional preparations, products made from the wrong parts of the plant, contaminated with mold. Traditional kava root, prepared the right way, has a centuries-long safety record. Germany eventually overturned its ban in 2014. A court called it inappropriate and unfounded. The WHO reviewed the evidence and declined to recommend any restrictions. Today, kava bars are opening across the US and Europe. People are choosing it over alcohol. Scientists are studying it as a potential treatment for anxiety. A 1,000-year-old Pacific ceremony was almost erased by a paperwork mistake. 10 plants, thousands of years of human knowledge, most of it almost lost, either forgotten, dismissed, or banned. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Roughly 50% of all pharmaceutical drugs today trace their origins back to plant compounds. The modern medicine cabinet is built on a foundation that ancient healers laid down long before anyone had a lab. So next time someone tells you herbal medicine is pseudoscience, ask them where aspirin came from. And wait, before you go, which plant on this list is technically related to coffee? Drop your answer below. And if you made it this far and learned something, you already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone who still thinks plants are just decoration. We'll see you in the next one.